y'all, and welcome back to Due South Sips and Travel Tips. I'm Nina Viking DuPont, and today I'm doing a review on the SeaGarden Resort. Super budget property. So far it's been very interesting, but I'm definitely here to bring you all the tea per usual and give you my unfiltered review of this resort. Enjoy. The SeaGarden Resort is a family-friendly, all-inclusive resort located in the Montego Bay area of Jamaica. It is only about maybe an 8-minute drive from the mobay airport. And this is one of the reasons that I chose it to stay at during the stay. I also wanted to stay here because I wanted to review this super budget property for you all. Y'all, it prices dirt cheap. And a lot of times with all-inclusives, you pay for what you get. However, I did really love that Holiday Inn Montego Bay property that I did a review on. I will link that in the description box below. It prices just a teensy bit higher than this property, but I did have all of the hope that this property would be amazing. However, wow, it really fell short in a lot of ways. However, with all that being said, this property has all the potential in the world. I feel like there are just some things that really need to be addressed. And I definitely think it's obvious that the management is just not delegating down or doing what they need to do in order to make sure that the employees feel empowered and or they're doing what they need to do. Also, a lot of the just architecture and things like that about the resort are super odd. But again, for the price point, you get what you pay for. So, with all that being said, let's get on into it. The check-in process at this resort was a little bit confusing. I realize it's a budget resort, but we did get there early because we did transfer from a different property. So we got there at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. They did draw a hard line, just like the Montego Bay Holiday Inn, about checking in at 3 p.m. I'm not sure what that's about with budget properties because I know that this resort was not at capacity, but they just did not want to accommodate us no matter how many times we went back. So they didn't really have any concierge bathrooms or anything like that I usually experience. I had to straight up change into my bathing suit and the lobby bathroom, which was not very conducive. I literally had my suitcase open in the lobby, y'all. Oh my God. Anyways, so we were able to get changed and we did go enjoy the beach and the pool, etc. Which all inclusives let you do that. And then finally, around 5 o'clock, we went back and they had our room ready. I'm sure it was probably ready before then. But anyways, we did go up to the room. Nobody helped us. And by the way, when we checked in, nobody told us where anything was. They didn't say, hey, over there's the buffet, lunch is being served, nothing. No help at all, nothing. At least at the Holiday Inn, they were like, hey, y'all, you can go over here and get your drinks, or they gave you a little bit of a preview of a property. Obviously, for a budget property, I'm not expecting a tour of the resort, y'all, but come on, at least you could say hey, and I don't know, just that obviously the workers there were extremely surly, but more on that in a minute. And so we did go up to our room. Our room wouldn't open. We had to go up and down, up and down. Finally, our room opens. Finally, the guy brings us our luggage. And then, of course, the safe doesn't work. And this is all over the SeaGarden Resort groups about the safes. So I'll go into that more later in this video. But that was the check-in process. Yeah, definitely wasn't impressed there at all. There's only one pool at this resort. I'm going to drop video of that here. It's nice. Personally, I didn't get in it. I don't really love getting in pools where a bunch of kids are and things like that. But they do keep up the pool area. You can tell it's dated. That's fine. But it is clean. So that's awesome. Honestly, the pool was cleaner there than at Couples Tower Isle when I went last fall. So there is that. Around the pool, you're going to have the pool restaurant kind of situation. I did not eat there, but I did get footage of that, so I'll also put that here. It looked like typical Jamaican frozen kind of fare, like the Jamaican patties and all that kind of stuff, so I'm sure it would have been fine. We just weren't there long enough for us to enjoy that. And they also had like a coffee station because they don't have a coffee shop at this resort. A lot of times when you go to these budget properties, they don't have a coffee shop. So it's just kind of you go there and you make your own coffee, and I did get footage of that as well. So the pool area, there's also a club around the pool area, and I will talk a little bit more about that when I talk about the entertainment. But yeah, so the pool area is fine. There is one pool bar, and the workers there also were extremely surly. We sat there for probably 15 minutes when we first arrived, and they just did not want to serve us a drink. It was really kind of surreal. We are huge tippers. I mean, I'm huge tipper at all inclusives. I believe that these people deserve the tips that they get, and I don't think it mattered that I tipped, y'all. It was interesting too because they were putting everybody's tips into like one communal bucket, like right in front of you at every bar and every like the walk-up little restaurants. I guess they do a tip out there, which is kind of odd for an all-inclusive. I've never seen that done before. But yeah, so that's the information about the pool. The drinks at this resort were good, I guess. I mean, they were fine for any all-inclusive. I mean, the liquor selection was definitely really lacking. Like Skull was pretty much your only option for vodka. But again, you get what you pay for at these types of all-inclusive resorts. So I totally understand that. The wine actually was drinkable. And the champagne, they didn't have champagne, and they also really didn't have sparkling wine. So I really can't speak to that. And they had beer. So, I mean, it was fine. But yeah, so I really don't have a whole lot to say about that. The beach at this resort is actually across the street from the property. They do have a crossing guard that will help you cross the street safely. I really didn't feel like the street was that busy, but it was a nice touch. And you go through this little area, which you'll see here, over to the beach. And then you kind of enter this building, and then the beach is straight in front of you or to the right. And the building's kind of run down, and the beach is nice. It's on a bay situation like many of the beaches in Montego Bay area. It's right by the airport, so one cool thing is you do get to see the airplanes take off and land, and that's really cool when you're in the water. Got in the water there. It was absolutely great. There really weren't a lot of people there. I don't know if it was because it was through the week. I don't feel like you would ever have to fight for a lounger there. At the beach, they did have a beach bar, and they had a beach restaurant type of situation. The seating for the restaurant was odd, and I will place that below. And this is where just some of the weird nuances I'm going to talk about later in the video come in, like there were just random paint cans around the restaurant area, and in some places it looked like there should be construction going on, but there weren't. It's just like they stopped it. And yeah, it was really odd, but I'll talk about that more later in the video, and I will show obviously pictures of that then. Again, the workers sadly were extremely surly at the beach bar. Nobody was very nice, even though we tipped. It was like we were putting them out just to ask for anything, and then we weren't being bougie at all, I promise. And the jerk chicky was great. The fries were great. The jerk chicky was actually better than the property that I was at previous to this property, which was a higher end property. And they also had other things like hot dogs and hamburgers. So, I mean, you aren't going to go hungry there for lunch. The lunch was really pretty okay. So, like I said, the jerk chicky was really good. But yeah, so, I mean, it's a nice beach. Again, it's just across the street. But again, when you go to these all-inclusives, you get what you pay for. You do have to wear bracelets here. You also have to acquire those towel cards, and that is how you receive your towels. So I don't even think we got towels, honestly, just because we were like, whatever. We were only there like a night, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. But, you know, again, if you're looking for a quick overnight that's close to the airport, if you have an early flight, I think this is a great bang for your buck, but you just got to know what you're getting into before you go. So let's talk about the food. every video. I feel like everybody wants to hear about the food. So currently, and this is April of 2024, there are only a few restaurants open for dinner at the Sea Garden, and it is the Jasmine Buffet that is also open from breakfast every morning from 7 to 10 a.m., lunch from noon to 2, and then dinner from 7 to 10. They really want to push you to eat at that buffet. It didn't look great. I did go in there. I did not eat in there. It didn't look like anything great. I did try to eat at the Chatham restaurant. That is the one that is an upcharge. And you have to make a reservation at the tour desk. I actually emailed the resort ahead of time because I did see the menu for that, and it's all seafood. They would not accommodate me. I do not eat seafood. I eat very little meat, and they would not even prepare a vegetarian dish for me, even though I was willing to pay that upcharge, which I thought was absolutely just not good customer service. So I did email back after they refused to accommodate me, and I asked for a reservation at the Italian restaurant. I also told them I would be filming this video for my channel, and they agreed to actually give me a reservation for the a la carte, even though you're not allowed to make one prior to arrival. So I do really appreciate them doing that for me. Thank you so much, SeaGarden. But typically you have to be there like at least one night before they'll let you make a reservation there. And they really don't want you to eat at this a la carte. It's really odd. They claimed that the reservations were all full. I asked for like a later dining time. I mean, I was just thankful to get what we got, but when we got in there was literally nobody in there. And it's interesting because the restaurant is only open from 7 to 8:30, and it's only open on like 5 days of the week. So it's kind of like a Ryu in that regard. Like they want to push you away from eating at the a la carte because that costs them additional money. They want to push you to eat at that buffet. So that's really kind of disappointing. At least the Holiday Inn, they were strict about reservations as well, but they did have a lot more of the a la cartes. So again, if you're looking for a little bit more of an upscale kind of experience for this same kind of price point, I definitely will look at that Holiday Inn all-inclusive resort. It's about the same distance from the airport, and food-wise, they're more accommodating. However, I want to tell you that the dinner that we had at the Italian restaurant was freaking incredible. I hate to admit it. I really do. But y'all know I'm going to give you all the tea. It was absolutely phenomenal. It was one of the best meals I've ever had in Jamaica. And y'all, you know how much I love Couples Tower Isle food? Holy crap. This food was excellent. It was like 5 or 6 courses. It was prepared well. Presentation was awesome. Our little server was fantastic. Can't say enough good things about it. The theming inside the restaurant was great. I mean, I've even seen video of the inside of the Chatham restaurant. It's recently been renovated as well, and it looks awesome too. So, I do think they're headed in the right direction with the a la cartes if they would just be willing to keep them open and let people make reservations there. So I get that they're probably losing money in that regard, but it's really just kind of sad that people are not getting to experience that. So again, what we had was absolutely incredible. I'm so thankful. I told them that I am an aspiring YouTuber for travel and that they did this for me. And I just want to again say how awesome it was there. The only negative about that experience was they really were trying to push us out the door. After each course, in the middle of the course, they'd be like, "Are you done? Are you done?" And we weren't done yet. But that's the only negative. They were really trying to close the doors, even though they're only open every night for an hour and a half, which is kind of crazy pants. So, anyways, that's the deal on food. I did not eat the breakfast there. I can't comment on it. In the groups, it really gets hot and cold opinions. And again, the lunch was basic Jamaican fare. So, I mean, the lunch was fine. Again, if I stayed there again and I couldn't get into one of the a la cartes, I definitely would go off property for dinner. They used to have a couple other a la cartes that are open. You can actually see those when you're on the property. One looks like it was like an Asian restaurant, but they no longer are opening those. I don't know if it's due to like staffing issues or they just don't want to run the cost. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But that is the tea on the food at the Sea Garden. The entertainment at this resort is what you would expect for the price point. They do have a club. We did not stay up long enough for the club to open, but I do have some footage of that, which I'm placing here. They also had just like some dancing, and they had like a quote line dance class, but it was really people doing like the Cupid shuffle. I don't know. They did have a singer before the line dancing. So it was okay. I don't know. I don't have a lot of comments about it. Like I said, it for the price point, I feel like the entertainment was okay. We did go to the piano bar. The piano bar was supposed to be open for like 3.5 hours or so. It was really weird though, because we got there maybe 30 minutes into the piano player's set, and then he was just like, I'm done until like later on in the week. Apparently he only is even playing there like 2 or 3 times a week. The piano bar is a really cool area. I really liked it. I would have loved to hung out there like longer. They even have a bar there. I'm going to put footage of that here. Again, this property has all the potential in the world. If they would leave this piano bar open late, like the one at Jewel or Paradise Cove or the one at Couples Tower Isle, this could be epic. But like the piano player just stopped playing like an hour into like his set and was just like, I'm done. So weird that the bar was open early and then it just like closed. Again, I don't know if they have issues with staffing or they just don't want to pay for the staff. I have no idea what's going on, but we did enjoy the 20 minutes that we did see the piano player. Room types. So the rooms here at the SeaGarden, they're pretty standard for Jamaica. They definitely need a refurb. I'm not sure if the rooms that we were in had a refurb recently or not. I just don't know. But they do have a standard room that is just their basic room. They have a deluxe garden view, which is what we booked, and it actually overlooked the ocean. It overlooked the pool. It was fine. Yeah, I have a room tour of it, so you're going to get to see it in a few minutes. And then there is a deluxe ocean view room, and all of these, you can either get a king or 2 doubles. They have another 1-bedroom ocean view suite that has a separate like kind of living area and also a larger bathroom. They have a family room where you can sleep your whole family in. And then they have a bohemian suite that looks kind of like a presidential suite kind of situation. So, yeah, all the rooms have balconies, I think, except for a few in the standard room. I've seen pictures of that they have more like a kind of like an enclosed patio, which is kind of odd. I've seen that in the resort groups. So, again, these rooms definitely need a refurb. They're just really basic, like something that you'd probably get at a La Quinta here in the States or a Best Western. But again, you get what you pay for. Okay, so room tour. This is room 901. This is the garden view room. Pro tip in the States, whenever you get a key card, usually place it here. Here at the SeaGarden, you're going to place it on the actual handle or the door will not open. And I did not realize this earlier. All right, so, y'all, it is budget. For the money, this is not a bad room. It kind of reminds me of Couples a little bit. I mean, obviously it's super antiquated and they need to like paint, but here we are. And this is the potty. The room is extremely small. The fluorescent lighting does kind of remind me of a prison a little bit. I feel like they could update that piece. And then it's just like a basic shower. So, I mean, it's kind of like a Red Roof Inn. I'm not gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? Here is the mini bar. I haven't even looked at it yet. So, oh look, there's nothing in the mini bar. But I mean, what do you expect for $200 a night? Alrighty, but they do give you 2 bottles of water, so there's that. There is lots of counter space here for you. They do give you a random candle. I have no idea what's up with that. Typical television here. And then here's the bed. Definitely reminds me of the Couples Resort. Again, though, they really need to obviously, here, look at this. Can we get some new night tables? I don't know. But again, for $200 a night, you know, can't beat it. And again, this is that garden view room. You do get a really great patio, I feel like, and the view is not bad from the patio area. So so this is where I'm going to discuss some of the weird nuances of the SeaGarden. I didn't feel comfortable just doing a voiceover and trying to go through some of the same pictures. This property is so small that there really wasn't a ton of video that I could take. So anyway, let's get on into it. So the layout of this resort was so odd, and I feel like it's probably because it wasn't always a resort. I didn't understand how to get around in the place. It probably would have taken me a couple of days. Parts of it seemed like it was falling down. It just felt really weird. Our building that our room was in felt safe. That was fine. I didn't mean like unsafe as far as like security, but yeah, it honestly though was one of the more unsecure properties that I have been to. It's just, it didn't feel like a resort. It felt like a collection of buildings. So you kind of need to know that going into it. Okay, so when we were at the beach bar, there was actually an employee that was asleep at the bar, y'all. Picture here. Yeah. Um, Incredible. I have never been to a resort before where the employees were actually sleeping on the job. It wasn't like, I feel like the employee could have stepped away to take a break, but no, the employee was just straight up honk chewing, y'all. Crazy pants. The safe issue. So in the resort groups, everybody was talking about how they would get to their room and their safe would not work. This is a huge issue for me because I do carry lots of cash, and also I just don't feel safe carrying my passport around everywhere. So I want to be able to lock up those valuables. So of course, once we got to the room, the safe is not working. We had to call and try to get somebody in to fix it. We did get to the room earlier in the day, not super early, I think maybe 4 or 5, and that person claims that they came to the room and they weren't allowed to enter the room. Maybe that's so, but whatever. They couldn't fix the safe until we were about to go to dinner, which we had to wait, and we had a reservation, so that was pretty stressful. The individual that came to fix the safe, this maintenance person, was a young kid. I don't think he knew how to fix it. He took him over an hour. He kept having to call people. These safes are new to the SeaGarden. I know that through the resort group, and it's like that the safe was never set up. I mean, even the maintenance person told us that. So he had to figure out how to set up the safe so that we could enter the code. So SeaGarden, if you're watching this, you need to set up all your safes. It's great that you have them in your room, but you've got to set them up. Again, this is where I feel like management is not doing what they need to do to empower these employees to do their jobs. So that's a major issue there, I feel like. Or they're not training them. I'm just not sure what's going on. On the last day that we were there, the morning that we were going to fly out, we had no water. And this is often a problem in, again, I read about in the SeaGarden Resort group, some buildings I read didn't have water for days in early March. But yeah, we weren't able to wash our hands, really use the bathroom. I mean, y'all, this is a big problem. And I understand, I've heard that this is a problem in Montego Bay area. I have been to other resorts in this area and it's never been an issue. I've traveled all over the Dominican. It's never been an issue. I just do not understand why this is such an issue at this particular resort. Really weird. It shouldn't be. It's also a safety concern. This is a family-friendly resort, and if you have a child that maybe poops itself or is vomiting and you don't have access to running water, that's a major health hazard. It's also scary because how are they prepping food? How are they washing things? Yeah, this is one of the reasons that I probably will not return to this resort because of that issue. Y'all need to fix that. They need to fix that. All right, quick thing I needed to pop in and say, a couple of things I forgot to say. in the weird nuance portion of this video is one, the bed in my room only had a sheet on it. It didn't have a comforter. It didn't have a blanket. I didn't really realize this until I went to bed. I'm so thankful I was only there one night. It was really kind of weird. I've also read in the resort groups that this is also a thing at this resort. So I don't know if housekeeping just isn't putting comforters on the bed, or if it's just not an attention to detail that they have. I know that they do have those, or even just some kind of blanket situation. I mean, that's typical at any hotel. And the other piece is just the weirdness of the building itself. Even on the beach side, I have pictures of that. I'll pop in here. There's like random paint cans places and odd things sitting around. And it's just really weird. You would think that they would like try to clean that up or figure out what's going on. I'm not sure exactly what the point in all that is, or if they've just forgotten that these things are there. I don't know. I don't get it. It's not a good look. Yeah, so those are my other two little things that I forgot to tell y'all that I wanted to pop in and say. Again, the minibar was not stocked. That's not surprising for such a budget property. There is a gift shop, like I stated earlier in the video, that is on the premises that you can go buy other like higher end liquors and things like that and stock your minibar with. To me, that's not a deal breaker. But again, that budget resort I did stay at in this area, that Holiday Inn Montego Bay all inclusive, if you did pay into the higher room type, you could get your minibar stocked. So that's another plus, I feel like, for the Montego Bay Holiday Inn Resort. Some of the employees were wearing uniforms and others were not. It was really odd. I don't understand why some of the people that had designated jobs, like one person that was like, when we arrived, she was obviously in the role of a cleaning person, and she had on a uniform. Some people had on a uniform when we checked in, others did not. I mean, it was just really odd how people kind of picked and choose if they wore a uniform. Like our maintenance person, I had no idea that he even worked for the resort. That's really disconcerting when you are perhaps maybe even a single female and you're traveling alone and you're not sure of who works at the resort and who doesn't. That's a major issue, and I think they really need to take care of that. I mean, even if they just make their employees wear name badges, something's got to change with that piece. And I get that this is a budget resort, but I've never come across this before at a resort or any sort of hotel. So when we checked in, no one helped show us around. And I get that this is a budget resort. I know I keep saying that, but even at other properties I have been to that are lower end, they will give me a map of the resort, and they will say, hey, the lunch is being served in the buffet. It's this way. Perhaps you want to go check out the beach. It's that way. Nothing. Just checked in and holla. That was also a major customer service red flag for me. Why aren't they telling you where to go? And it was really confusing. It didn't leave a good taste in my mouth about the property and about the customer service. So that was highly disappointing as well. As I stated earlier, there wasn't a vegetarian option at the Chatham restaurant. I did reach out to the resort prior to arrival, like I said earlier in the video, and they just refused to accommodate me. I mean, what if I had an allergy? What if I was gluten-free? What if I was allergic to shellfish? No, and I'm willing to pay, y'all. I was willing to pay to eat there, but yet they wouldn't accommodate me. So odd. They would only go by the menu. And again, shout out, thank you SeaGarden for giving us the option to do that a la carte Italian night. I think they did that because I threw in that I was a YouTuber and I was filming this video. So I really appreciate that. I feel like that made our stay, because that meal, y'all, was incredible. Like I stated earlier in the video, I'm not going to go back into it, but that meal was excellent. A lot of the employees were really surly. Not a lot, actually, most of them. There may be two that were like actually nice. I don't understand what's going on there, if people just hate working there or if the wage isn't high enough. I'm not sure, because, you know, then you go to other properties like Secret's Wild Orchid or I always talk about Couples Tower Isle because you know I love it, or Couples Tower Isle, where people are so friendly and will do anything for you, and you can just tell they like working there. I mean, I know every day at work is not going to be a party. It's not for me, but when your job is customer relations and you're just outright rude or not hospitable, that's an issue. So I did not walk away from that experience feeling very warm and fuzzy. I tip because I feel like people deserve a tip in these countries. Okay, I feel that way here in America too, but even more so I feel like when I'm outside of the country in the Caribbean. However, it made me not want to tip. I felt like the caliber of service I was receiving was not, one, worthy of a tip, I hate to put it that way, but also it was not appreciated. They did have like a tip out, like I stated earlier in the video, like a can, if you will, at every bar or restaurant where you could put money into it. And then I guess they would all take the money out. I don't know. Our server though, the Italian restaurant, was fabulous. She was brand new and we gave her 20 bucks. Excellent, wonderful young lady. Shout out to her. I can't remember her name, but I will drop her picture here. I really thought she did a phenomenal job for her first night on the job, and she actually cared, and she was actually nice. But most of the other people were not. I mean, even like the entertainment person that was running the entertainment program the night that we were there was also pretty surly. So they really need to work on their morale. That's all I'm saying. Let's see if there was anything else. Oh, the piano bar, like I stated earlier in the video, the piano player just stopped and was like, I'm done. And he didn't even work the full amount of time that was labeled on the sheet for entertainment. Y'all, that was so weird. So weird. Never had experienced that at a resort before either. Not sure what's going on at this property. I really don't know. But that was really concerning. So, obviously they don't have turn down service at this resort. I mean, it is a budget property, but I'm not also sure if you would receive housekeeping every day. I've read in the SeaGarden Resort groups that sometimes they receive housekeeping service and sometimes they do not. So I don't know what to tell you about that. Yeah, I think that is about it. Hopefully I'm not leaving anything else out. I did try to write everything down. Yeah, it was an experience. I'm really glad I did it. I plan to do a couple of other budget properties this year for you all. This is probably the most budget one I've ever done in my life. And it was an experience. Not sure that I would go back there, even if I had a early flight. I mean, that was a major plus though, was how close we were to the airport with a private transfer. Shout out to Best Jamaica for bringing me to SeaGarden and taking me to the airport, always on time, always professional, always reliable. They are my endorsement for transportation in the Montego Bay area or in any part of Jamaica. I do have a video about them and I will drop that into the description box below. But yeah, other than that, the food was excellent, like I said, for dinner. Lunch was pretty okay, but not sure I'd go back. But we'll see. Anyways, I'm trying to drop a video for you guys every week, and I'm going to start pushing out lifestyle content as well to try to get outside of my comfort zone and also hopefully to attract more viewers and get away a little bit from my niche audience of all-inclusive resort folks. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have the best rest of your day, and Hammy and I will see you in a video really soon. Don't forget that experiences are greater than material things, and please like and subscribe to our channel. It's the only way I'm going to grow, and it's the only way I'm going to be able to continue to bring to you all the awesome content about resorts that I do. Thank you.